In the Dark by Vikki Patis. Narrated by Billy Fulford-Brown, Mia Hutchinson-Shaw, Damien Lynch, and Bronwen Price.
1. Caitlyn. I am a bad mother. The words reverberate around my mind as I stare down at the floor and the small red stain blemishing the white carpet beneath my feet. It is new, this carpet, laid only a year ago when I'd finally had enough of the original dull red. At least it would hide the blood better. The thought is unbidden, horrific, and I push it away. I close my eyes, trying to regulate my breathing. In, 1, 2, 3. Out, 1, 2, 3. Inhale, exhale. The next thought is louder, so loud it makes my heart skip a beat. She's done it again. I'm too late. I push open the bathroom door, knowing deep down what I will find. There is a distinct lack of urgency. My body feels heavy, and my movements are slow as I step inside to find what I have been expecting to find for almost a year. The body of my daughter. As soon as I see her, her eyes closed, one hand dangling over the edge of the bath, blood dripping from her fingertips, my heart speeds up, beating so hard that I start to feel dizzy. Sweat prickles along my forehead. My jaw clenches so tightly I hear a crack. And then, movement. Her fingers twitching, a low moan coming from her lips. She is alive. She is alive. Isabel, I say, rushing towards her, dropping to my knees beside the bath. Isabel, wake up! I press my hand over her wrist to stop the bleeding, though the wound is not too deep. I have learned how to tell. I reach over and grab her other wrist, and here, the wound is deeper. She is right-handed, and she must have cut her left wrist first, the razor opening the skin like a hot knife through butter. Blood is pulsing out of it, coating my fingers. She moans again, her eyes flickering. I'm going to call an ambulance, I tell her, letting go of her left wrist and fishing in my back pocket for my phone. It's going to be okay, darling. You're going to be fine. It's all for attention, Michael said when Isabel first started cutting. A cry for help. She'll grow out of it. But shouldn't we be answering her cry for help? I thought, but didn't say. He had already gone back to reading the newspaper, his glasses balanced on the end of his nose, while Alicia made hot chocolate for her younger sister, and I perched on the armchair, my hands clasped between my knees, feeling out of my depth. That was the first time. I am still out of my depth now. This is our second hospital visit in the past 12 months, each cry for help getting more and more serious. This time, Isabel has swallowed a pack of the amitriptyline I was prescribed for insomnia a few years back, as well as cutting her wrists, and so the pace is faster this time. The hospital corridors whizzing past as I run alongside the stretcher on which my daughter lays, wishing Alicia was here, glad she doesn't have to see it this time. You'll need to wait here, a nurse says, holding a hand up in front of her. I stop as if she has activated an invisible shield, blocking me out. I watch Isabel disappear through the double doors, my hands clenching and unclenching at my sides. The nurse's eyes soften as our gaze meets. Just take a seat here. We'll keep you updated. And then she is gone in a flash of blue uniform and rubber-soled shoes that squeak on the polished floor. I sit in the hard-backed chair, picking at a groove in the armrest, thinking of Isabel's last words to me as the ambulance flew down the motorway, blue lights flashing. There's a photo. They shared it. Everyone's seen it. A photo? What kind of photo? I get my phone out, tap on Alicia's number, then put it down again. Michael is in Italy on a business trip. He only left yesterday and isn't due back for another 5 days. What time is it there? What time is it here? The clock on the wall reads 4:16 p.m. 4 + 1 + 6 = 11. 1 + 1 = 2. The same as Isabel's life path number. Sensitive, emotional, the mediator, the peacekeeper. Michael has always frowned at my dabbling in numerology and horoscopes, calling it mumbo-jumbo and that weird hippie shit. He is a man of business, only believing in what he can feel in his hands and see with his eyes. But numbers have always made sense to me. I find comfort in them in a world full of chaos, feel myself drawn to them when everything else is a mess. Alicia's life path number is 5. Resourceful, wild, never still. She is away at university now, studying and partying with equal relish, turning from the child I reared to an adult in her own right. Will Isabel have the same opportunities as her sister? Will she even make it to university? Will she make it through tonight? I think back to the last attempt, the one which I managed to thwart by being at home when I wasn't expected to be. I had planned to visit a friend for coffee, our usual monthly catch-up, but her father had had a fall and needed her help. And so I was in the bath when Isabel came flying through the house, her feet stomping on the stairs as she headed for her bedroom. Music blared from her speakers almost instantly, and so I slid down in the water, hoping to avoid another row, until I heard the rattle of the bathroom door. "Mum!" Her voice was full of tears. So much emotion in that one word, and I got out of the bath, hurriedly tucking a towel around myself, and took her in my arms, holding her like I used to when she was small. I wrap my arms around myself now, desperate for comfort, staring at a scruff mark on the floor. She will get through this. She will be fine. I won't let her be anything else.
2. Liv. I'm scrubbing at a stain on the kitchen counter when Seb jogs down the stairs, his hair still damp from the shower. A waft of aftershave follows him into the room. "Morning, love," I say, drying my hands and nodding at his cup of tea cooling on the side. "Sleep well?" "Like a log," he says, as he often does, grinning his usual grin. I smile back at him. "Any bread left?" I shake my head. "There's a box of cereal in the cupboard. Chocolate rice pops, or whatever they're called these days." "Oh, yes," Seb says, taking the box out of the cupboard and pouring a generous bowl. "I love these ones. Thanks, Nan." My smile flickers as I remember the reduce sticker I ripped off and threw in the bin as soon as I got home. You'd never notice the price of gluten-free cereal unless you had no choice but to eat it. When Seb was diagnosed with celiac disease back in primary school, I felt utterly overwhelmed. "Browse," a woman in Tesco told me once when I was staring uncomprehendingly at the back of a packet of biscuits. "Barley, rye, oats, wheat, spelt." She ticked them off on her fingers. "And may contain. Stay away from anything that says it may contain gluten. It's not worth the risk." In the years since, both Seb and I have learned a lot. We've learned that, first and foremost, he is a teenage boy, and he gets easily frustrated by having to be different to the rest of his friends. More than once, he spent a few days in the bathroom after one of his just a little bit won't hurt moments, or not checking if the food is suitable for him. I suppose he'll learn the hard way. He wolfs the cereal down now, dribbling chocolatey milk down his chin. "That's a clean shirt," I say, handing him a tea towel. "You've no more until I do the washing." "Better get on with it then, Nan," he says, winking, and I pretend to swat him. He dances past me and places his bowl in the sink before grabbing his lunch and water bottle from the fridge. "See you later." "Have a good day." The front door slams, and he is gone. I breathe out. He's a good boy, Seb, though cheeky beyond belief. He's always been that way, ever since he was a child. Always happy and willing to lend a hand.